Good day to you, wherever you are. Say good day, good night, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. Hi, I'm Liz Holpin from Pinhole Quilting. My husband Pete is not behind the camera. In fact, he's packing. Yes, we're going on vacation, holiday, whatever you like to call it. We are taking a break. And as a result, this is a pre-recorded video so that on Facebook Live, we will not be live. That's why I'm doing this. So on the 15th of January 2022, you will be watching this and you can post your comments, but we will be mid-Atlantic. Yes, we are going somewhere warm, which is good because it was freezing today. It was foggy, it was cold, and we're glad that we're going somewhere warm. I'm wearing about 5 layers. I have my fleecy underlayers underneath my jeans, and I'm looking forward to getting some sun. In fact, we're going somewhere that Pete and I, 11 years ago, pretty much 11 years ago, we were there, and it was raining, and we got married on the beach, 7 Mile Beach on Grand Cayman. So we'll be celebrating our 11th wedding anniversary, which is just lovely. And in fact, it's 30 years ago that I was there on Grand Cayman, I was actually on Little Cayman, and I fell in love with the place. I loved it so much, I thought, I need to work there. This is a really, really nice place. And I was living in Leeds at the time, working for IBM, and I thought, I've got a good job, I've got a potential for a very nice pension, and I was in my 20s, and I thought, actually blow it. As I landed in the 7-seater plane on a grass runway with an idyllic little island in the middle of the lagoon on Little Cayman, I thought, this looks really good. How do I get here? And I met Laura on the back of a truck, flatbed truck, and she was from Oxfordshire. And I thought, this is very cool. Where is this? How did she get here? I want to be that person that is living here. So I chatted to Laura, and we've been friends ever since. And we're still in touch to this day. Anyway, I quizzed her, and I thought, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. And it just shows, actually, that if you have an objective and a little idyllic paradise island in mind, you can get there. So 5 months later, I was working on Little Cayman, and I was a diving instructor and assistant manager at Southern Cross Club. And that's where I lived and worked for probably about 10 months, nearly a year, actually. And then I worked on Grand Cayman and absolutely loved it. I drove the boats and took people diving. And people used to say, wow, you live here. Yeah, I don't commute. No, that would be a long way. And we used to get lots of questions like that. So yeah, and do the stingrays? Do they live here? Yeah, they live here too. Does the coral go all the way underneath the island? I mean, we used to get great questions. That sounds really, really terrible, doesn't it? I'm not being rude about the tourists, but we used to get some good questions. And Little Cayman, we used to have 50 people, including me, on the island. We had no shops and just a grass runway. And being assistant manager of a dive resort has its challenges. 3 days before I arrived, the dive boat sank. So I arrived on this little island, this little paradise, and found out we had no dive boat. Dive resort, no dive boat. Challenging. And there were various other things. Within a week of taking over, the manager went away after 4 weeks and left me in charge. And I discovered that what we call the short order cook, she was drinking a lot of the profits. So I had to fire her. That was in my first week. So yeah, at 27, it was an interesting baptism of fire. I have to say the quilting world is a lot less exciting. Anyway, welcome, Pinhole Quilting. There's no Pete behind the camera. That's why I can talk about whatever I like. So we're looking forward to going to Grand Cayman, and then we're off to Little Cayman, back to my old home. And I'm very much looking forward to reacquainting myself with the diving and the fishing and the beach combing and just the hanging out. Not that I hung out too much on Little Cayman, I just used to work all the time, but anyway, that's a different thing. I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year. If you didn't see our last Facebook Live, Happy New Year. It was our 5th birthday. To celebrate, we have a 10% off our threads. And we've got a lot of threads. We hope we're going to get some more. We do plan on getting some more, but it's been a little delayed, and I won't explain why just yet. You might not find out ever why, but we will be getting some more. Anyway, 10% off the current selection. We're going to go into more about the different threads while we're away. We're going to do a little bit of recording while we're away. There might be a few palm trees in the background. We're not trying to make you jealous. We're just that it just means that we can record while we're away. We're taking these with us, so that's cool. So we will be doing our thread discount all the way to the 31st of January. And we'll be doing a few little videos to explain the different types of threads we'll have. So that's cool. And that's just automatic. But if the thread is already discounted, for example, our Glide Thread Club is already discounted. But I thought I'd highlight for you a few very topical thread selections, like Sea and Sky. Hey, Sea and Sky. Sea and Sky. I'm looking forward to that turquoise sea. It's not grey. It's really not grey. And it makes a lot of noise. It crashes on the reef. How about this one? Anchorage Bay. That's not the Alaska Anchorage I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the one where, when the Spanish went over, 1505, I think Christopher Columbus first discovered it. And the setting sun. Oh, yes. The setting sun. These are our Glide Threads selection. Setting sun. We'll be watching a bit of setting sun from our rental on Little Cayman. And because it's our wedding anniversary. Yeah. I think Pete will be nice and romantic. I'm sure we'll have a Wendy's for our anniversary. There is Wendy's on Grand Cayman. Actually, we'll be on Little Cayman. We had our honeymoon on Little Cayman. We went from Grand Cayman. It did actually rain on our wedding day. But it was great. We had, for our wedding, we had wedding ceremony on the beach. Just me and Pete, my best friend Penny, and her friend Greg, and Reverend Magoo. He did a lovely speech. It was really nice. Pete cried. It was sweet. And actually, it just got a bit emotional. It was nice. I had to be strong. And he teared up. I'm not saying he cried. He wasn't a full-blown, but no, it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, I think guys do that. We Pete and I, before COVID, we did a lot of weddings because we do wedding photography as well. And we see that quite a lot. The guys, I think it just suddenly hits them. I think they kind of like blank it out and then suddenly they realize, and they do get quite emotional. Anyway, we see that quite a bit. Anyway, so Be My Valentine. Pete, be my Valentine. Be my Valentine. I might get emotional. I do get emotional. And how about Little Cayman? Because it was named after the colours of some of the beautiful units and the colours. Quite often, the colours on Little Cayman, and actually on Grand Cayman as well, because of how they paint the clapboard, they quite often use like the base colour and then just add white to it. So that is pretty typical of the house colours that you get on Little Cayman. There you go. So I'm going to create a couple of special Glide Thread Clubs. Well, definitely one. I'm going to call it Mermaid. It's not going to be a Glide Thread Club. It's going to be a special Glide collection. We're going to start a new one. How about that? And we're going to do some nice photography, probably at Point of Sands, my favourite beach in the entire world, at the east end of Little Cayman. It is I shouldn't tell you this. It's a horrible beach. You hate it. Don't ever go there. It's really rubbish. Don't ever go. It's rubbish. Don't. It's horrible. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it. Little Cayman's rubbish. Don't ever go. No, it's horrible. Honestly. Nobody. No. Don't bother. Caymans, don't bother. No. Anyway, let me tell you some news. For those of you who didn't watch last week's Facebook Live, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I got a bit emotional last time, actually. I didn't cry at our wedding, but I did get emotional about the fact we're not doing Academy. That shows you the scale of how important Academy is to us, to me. I'm afraid we don't have an Academy in 2022. It was impossible to find it at an economic cost. Give you an example. We look back on the costs. Do you know that if you were to try and rent a projector at the National Motorcycle Museum for a period of 10 days, it would cost you £1,000? You could buy 4 for that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ludicrous. So, yeah, some probably government departments probably pay it. But anyway, just saying. So instead of that, you have two options of things that some other alternatives. First of all, we are planning to do an academy in 2023. So don't worry, spring 2023, yeah, that is the plan. But if you are willing to fly to the States, the Handy Quilter corporate, Handy Quilter in the States, are planning their academy. It will be at Salt Lake City. Well, it's actually just outside it's Layton. It's in their USA Academy, but the places will be limited, of course, so you've got to be quick off the mark, which is why we told you now, because then you can look at all of the plans and check it out. So do have a look at that. Look at the Handy Quilter website, USA Academy, education. The other thing is that I've had a great chat with some of our educators, which are basically, I've had a good chat with Abigail and Linda. We are running some really nice education for you. So we will be extending our education throughout the months of May and July to include some very exciting workshops in May and July. So do not fear, there will be some lovely options. I'm not going to announce them now, but when we get back February, I will be announcing them. And I think, you know, for those of you who didn't perhaps get on the foundation workshops in March, or you're receiving your Amaras, Moxies, or whatever in the early part of this year, or you perhaps got them in December and weren't able to do the March workshops. There are some workshops in May that we're doing some lovely workshops with Linda. So that's going to include things like feathers, the root of feathers and fills, feather workshops, blocks and borders, using Cindy Needham stencils, one-day workshops. You don't have to do multiple days. This fulfills the need I know that some of you were looking for. Secondly, we're going to be doing a multi-day workshop in July. And I'm not going to tell you dates right now because I need to check availability of a few other things first. The other thing is that our ambassador event that I mentioned in the last Facebook Live, I have got that confirmed from the ambassador, international ambassador. And I'm not going to say who it is right now until I've got other things confirmed, but that will be the last 2 weeks in September. I'm planning to do 2 sets of 2-day workshops and repeat it the following week. So potentially that means over 40 people could attend those workshops. So I think again that fulfills some of the requirements that we have for really extending a lot of exciting education. And this is absolutely top-notch, exciting, really exciting workshops. I am totally thrilled because I get to see what's happening too. So that's really good. Okay, Long Arm Learning Curve UK. Long Arm Learning Curve UK. We know that there's over 1,000 people in the international long arm learning curve. And increasingly, particularly during COVID, we've felt that it's become a bit too widespread. It's very international, which is great, except when I'm posting things about local stuff, it becomes less relevant to those people who are in some part of the States, and they just kind of go, well, okay, fine. But then it's not useful to them. And we're lacking that personal touch that I think we used to have when probably over 50% of the group, over 70% of the group was UK based. So Linda and I had discussed it over quite a period of time, and it's now become the time to do it. So this is what we've done. Well, Linda's done it, and I think that's absolutely right. Linda's in charge of this. Long Arm Learning Curve UK, she does a lot of the support, and it's absolutely fantastic. We totally back her in what she's done. And we will now be pointing our new customers at Long Arm Learning Curve UK. We still support the international group. I'm an admin on it. Linda's an admin on it. And it's fantastic, that international group. Any international educators who want to be part of the UK Long Arm Learning Curve are very welcome to join it, because we love the fact that you as educators, if you're watching this video, are supporting our UK customers as well. It's absolutely wonderful. And of course, you know, if you're doing training and stuff, we love the fact that, you know, it's available to our UK customers. So thank you very much for providing handy quilter training to our UK customers. It's brilliant. And particularly during COVID as well, the virtual education that has been provided has been really a godsend. And it's really good because a lot of our customers might be, you know, very, very remote. They might be living on some Scottish island and they never come to our showroom. And that remote education is very, very valuable. Okay, so that's Long Arm Learning Curve UK. If you haven't joined it yet, please do. Please do, because we will do, and Linda will be doing videos. We will potentially be doing a lot more virtual education as well. And we'll key into that and let you know that when it's available. Let me tell you about Pauline Burbage. Pauline Burbage, this is one of Pauline Burbage's quilts back here. I've got it on this frame just laid out. This is a quilt that we purchased from Pauline when we visited a couple of years ago, when Pauline was in the process of developing her content for her exhibition that was delayed from the COVID years. Now this is a beautiful quilt. I absolutely love it. She's used marble crayons and she's taken her inspiration from the hedgerows and the countryside around where she lives in the Scottish borders. She's married to Charlie Poulsen, who is basically, Charlie is an artist and sculptor, and she and Charlie live in a beautiful part of the world. It's a very inspiring part of the world, and where they live has almost become like an art installation in its own right. And Pete and I have been very privileged to be able to go up and spend some time just having coffee and having a chat with Pauline. I've known Pauline quite a long time. We actually worked with Pauline when she had previously to having a handy quilter. So she had a different frame. Anyway, she works on a handy quilter now, and she's got an Avanti. So this is an exhibition that Pauline's been working on, as I say, and she's provided and worked on a huge body of work. It's absolutely enormous. So this is a body of work that will be available as an exhibition that comprises 16 large-scale drawings, of which are Charlie's, and 12 large-scale textile quilt works, which are Pauline's. So, I mean, obviously, predominantly, I know our customers will be interested in the other quilt works. 12 of these works, which are much bigger than this. This is only a small scale. These are basically, these are 12 panels, and the larger ones are much, much bigger than this. They will be displayed in North Wales at the Ruthin Craft Centre. It's called Drawing Parallels, the exhibition. It's on from the 9th of April till early July of this year, 2022. And it's the Craft Centre at Ruthin is known for its presentations of fine craft. And as Pauline says, we hope that our large-scale drawings and textile works will excite and inspire. What a great opportunity this is. So please visit, and there's a web link. I will be putting this on our blog post. So I will also be posting some of the pictures of the exhibition. Coming in the summer, of course, if those of you are familiar with Pauline Burbage's work, you'll know that every year she has an open studio, which if ever you get the chance to go at Allenbank Mill Steading from the 5th to the 8th of August, which actually doesn't clash with the Festival of Quilts this year because it's moved. So if you normally would like to go, but you kind of find it clashes with Festival of Quilts, this is the year to go. Fantastic. Now, I've got my notes and I've just put my notes down, so that's no good. We had a lovely giveaway this week. These beautiful panels, dream big, and why not? Have big dreams, and it's amazing what you can accomplish. This is Dream Big, which you can team up with our beautiful 1,000-meter glide thread pack. There's 4 threads, and we put it on the website. You've got a choice. You can either have the Dream Big panel on its own, or you can team it up with our curated selection of glide thread. You get 4 glide threads for the price of 3. Set it the right way around. Not three glide threads for the price of 4. That wouldn't be such a good deal. 4 for the price of 3. And these are beautiful. I've now got them on quilt hangers. And for those of you who come to the showroom, you'll see that I have a lovely display now on these beautiful hangers. So you can actually see them. which look gorgeous. Obviously the panels are bigger than this. I've just done them so that they actually hang properly. And you don't get like a third of a panel. And anyway, we've got a really nice selection of the Dream Big, and you get your glide thread option if you wish to exercise that option. Anyway, the winners of the Instagram Facebook competition this week were picked at random, and they were Suzette Bryden, Sarah Stevens and Alison Russell. Congratulations. I sent out the Dream Big with the matching threads and a handy quilter bag, and you should have received those hopefully in the post, if the post has done its thing. Although to be honest, it's a bit erratic at the moment. Not as erratic as the parcel I sent by UPS this week, which didn't arrive at all, and I've had to put in an investigation claim. Not happy about that. Right, so just one of the trials. Occasionally we have, very occasionally. Luckily we don't have that happen very often, but gosh, what a pain it is when it does happen. Right, so that is it really. We're off. It's getting late and I haven't packed, and we leave at 4 in the morning. Better go, hadn't I? Let me just check the list. I think I've just got to work on my mermaid. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. So I'm swapping my Joanna Lumley, hat. I might just take it. I think it'd look good with a bikini. But as I was a boat captain, obviously I've got my captain's hat. But you know, I'm a bit worried about Pete, because a few years ago for a big birthday I had, actually it's quite a long time ago now, we did our RYA day skipper and we did a flotilla, you know, big yacht down the turquoise coast in Turkey. Big yacht, sailed it, didn't crash it, it's always good. Nearly died because I ate pufferfish, but no, we were all right. Didn't die. That's one of the 9 lives. I think I've had 14 now. But anyway, so there's my captain's hat. But I did notice that Pete had put aside some luggage. And look what I found. It's a captain's hat. I think there might be a little bit of a challenger in the ranks. And skull and crossbones. And that might be for something else actually. No, I'm a bit worried about those. Anyway, that might be for something else, I don't know. Right, well, I think that's everything. Just to say, look forward to seeing you on Facebook Live for real with my new mermaid pack, and on Facebook Live a week on Saturday. See you then. Bye.